When we receive our Gene Keys profile, one of the first things that I noticed is that within every sphere of my profile, there was a number, a decimal point, and another number. I've come to understand that these are the lines. It is a flavor of the way the gene key in that sphere will be expressed. And there are themes to each of the lines. And for me, the line in my purpose really didn't make much sense to me. And it's been so fun to see in hindsight how the intellect really isn't going to understand this. My understanding is coming from experience. It's coming from something deeper. And so I have a short little story to share with you today about the line 2 in the purpose sphere. And hi, I am Kathy Zodiaco. I am a Gene Keys guide. I lead the intimacy circle and groups such as contemplating and moving meditations. And I've been really transitioning from living from my intellect, from the mind, into living from something much deeper. And I had a lot of things I want to say were wrong as I began my Gene Keys journey. I was in chronic, debilitating pain. I was struggling to take care of myself. I spent most of the days either lying in my bed in pain or on the floor in pain. And that's where the Gene Keys found me. That's where I started my journey. And you can hear I've come a long way from those moments because I am currently out hiking on the trails. I hope you don't mind the noise and my deep, heavy breathing. And I would so love it if you'd say hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know what's coming up for you as you become even more intimate with your beautiful and amazingly unique self. So line 2 in the purpose, I didn't really give it much thought. Posture. Line 2 in the sphere of my purpose, posture, fluids. What could that possibly mean? Richard talks about the spine. And mine's been hurt. So I've been nervous. I've been uncomfortable looking in this direction. And so I've gone on with my life. I've lived it and I'm receiving the most beautiful insights, epiphanies, breakthroughs, and I'm having the most incredible experiences. Many of which I'm sharing here in the intimate audios. Well, I decided that I was going to be pain-free. I decided that no matter what was currently happening, that my experience was leading to a pain-free one. And that everything that was happening in my life was taking me to my pain-free experience of life. And so that is how I engaged with everything. I'm not going to say it was easy. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done until now. And what began happening is I started to get this urge that I've never had before, an urge to study Tai Chi. Tai Chi? It was so foreign and so random and so very persistent that I found myself standing in the Buddhist center learning Tai Chi. And it became one of my favorite things. What started to happen for me is at the time that I went to Tai Chi, I could not stand up straight. I was bent over at the waist. I could walk from my car about 50 steps, and then I would have to sit down for about 5 or so minutes. And that's the way I had been living for about 2 years. So I made it into the Tai Chi room, where the instructor had me stand. Just stand. She had me stand as we talked about energy, as we talked about so many things that aligned with my experience within the Gene Keys. standing there, I started to feel that I could heal. And then, as the classes went by, we began to shift our weight from hip to hip. We began to move our lower body in unison with our upper body. We began to move with the breath leading. We began to pay attention to our physical alignment. I began to think of my life as a moving meditation. That when I'm aligned with my posture, my breath, and my energy, my intention, I am aligned with the essence of me. And what that does for me is it truly feels as if it invites my core stability. I've been wandering around this world having really icky experiences until I began Tai Chi and Qigong, until I started to align my spirit with my physical body and the way that it moves on the planet, the way that I have started to intend my body as a temple that brings heaven to earth. It comes through my physical vessel. And when I am out in the world in this state, everything is easier. Everything is more pleasing. I feel as though I am aligned, whatever that word means. I feel core stability. And I've been having what feels like dangerous experiences, and you may have heard of some of them in previous audios. And yet, something is catching me and holding me. And I really feel that it has been this awareness and alignment with my posture and allowing everything within me to flow, because Tai Chi and Qigong, they are restoring the flow within my physical body. And I didn't even tell you the other things that have happened, the less thrilling things that have happened. My body began to heal. My pain began to slowly decrease. My endurance began increasing, and my strength started to build from standing in a dark room with intention, swaying my body from side to side, running energy through my limbs. It was too much for my mind to believe, but I kept improving and improving and improving. And not only that, but at the time that I began, I had gained about 55 pounds. I was 55 pounds overweight. And over the course of 2 gentle years of Tai Chi, all of that weight has been released. And it has felt effortless. I haven't tried to lose weight. Whereas for the previous 4 years, I'd been throwing everything I had at it. Another miracle happened. I had suffered from chronic heartburn, for easily 20 plus years. The doctors had increased my medication until the day I walked in and they told me the medication is going to kill you. Well, that's a story for another day. But I released my chronic heartburn. Once again, it happened just like the weight. It felt effortless. And what I feel is like I've plugged the key into the ignition instead of trying to drive my car without the engine even on. My time with Tai Chi and Qigong, by following this intuitive urge, this persistent intuitive urge, I have found a way to align my spine. I have found a way to stand tall on the planet because I now do stand tall. I can be fully upright. And I am finding, or rather the way I like to say it, is core stability is finding me. I've like placed myself on the map where my core stability has been looking for me, and now I can be found, and it's the best thing ever. I would love to hear your experience, if you've had one, with your line 2 in your sphere of purpose. What has posture and flow meant to you?